watermelon for Dari. Dari didn't remember exactly when the world became so cozy, but she knew exactly who had woven this comfort around her. It was her grandmother and grandfather. They raised Dari in a house that always smelled of warm bread and dry herbs, and they loved her so much that even the sun above their yurt seemed to shine especially for her. Dari's grandfather was a master of the land. It seemed he knew the language of every little sprout. Under his hands, an empty field turned into a green ocean. "Look, Dari," he would say, adjusting his orange hat with the embroidered flower. "The earth is generous if you treat it with kindness." In his garden ripened melons, yellow and hot, like little suns that had fallen into the grass. On the vines hung heavy bunches of grapes, looking like purple gemstones. But the main treasure was the watermelons. Dari adored watermelons more than anything in the world. She loved that moment when Grandfather chose the biggest striped ball, took out a knife, and a loud, appetizing sound rang out, crack! The watermelon split open, revealing its sugary, bright red soul. "This is for you, my joy," Grandfather smiled, handing Dari a huge slice. The juice ran down her chin, sweet and cool, and Dari was absolutely happy. And when the sun began to lean towards sunset, painting the woolly mountains in an orange hue, Grandfather had another task. He took his staff and went to graze the sheep. The little sheep looked like clouds that had come down to the earth to rest. Dari often ran along with Grandfather. While he made sure the flock didn't wander off, Dari buried her face in the lamb's soft wool and listened as Grandfather quietly hummed ancient songs. "Grandfather, why do the clouds in the sky look so much like our sheep?" she asked. "Because once upon a time they also grazed in the meadows, and then they learned to fly." Grandfather winked slyly. "Maybe you too, when you eat enough sweet watermelons, will become so light and happy that you can jump up to reach them." In the evening, Grandmother met them at the doorstep. She hugged Dari so tightly and softly, as if she herself was made of the gentlest felt in the world. In this little world, among the grapevines, fluffy sheep and sugary watermelons, Dari knew for sure she was safe and she was loved more than anything in the world. In a warm, soft valley where the clouds looked like tufts of cotton wool and the hills like velvet pillows, harvest time had arrived. The sun generously warmed the earth, and the melon patch filled with huge, striped berries. Grandfather, adjusting his patterned hat, went out into the field with an important mission. Today he had promised his family he would find the very best watermelon in the entire area. But how could he tell which one was the one? He approached a big, beautiful one lying in the lush greenery. Grandfather knew an ancient secret. "You have to talk to the watermelon." He carefully picked it up, pressed his ear against it, and tapped it lightly. Knock, knock. The sound was deep and resonant, as if the watermelon itself wanted to tell him how much sunshine it had soaked up over the summer. Grandfather broke into a satisfied smile. "You are exactly the one we need." In the evening, the whole family gathered for a picnic. Grandmother in her favorite blue headscarf, and the little granddaughter waited impatiently for the treat. When the watermelon was cut, it turned out to be exactly as its sound had promised. Sugary, bright red, and incredibly juicy. They sat on a colourful rug, eating sweet slices and laughing merrily. Juice ran down their chins, and the granddaughter squinted with pure delight. At that moment, it seemed that happiness tasted just like a ripe watermelon on a hot summer day.